The moment you start chasing her, you lose her, not because she stopped liking you, but because she stopped respecting you. A masculine man doesn't run after love. He walks away. And that's exactly when she starts to follow. 1. The silent power of disappearing. Let's start with this. A masculine man doesn't chase. He disappears. Not out of arrogance, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. There's a story I once heard about a man named Rayhan. He was the kind of guy who gave everything. He texted first, waited hours for replies, and convinced himself that being consistent was love. But one day, she stopped replying altogether. No goodbye, no closure, nothing. That's when it hit him. He was the only one trying, the only one chasing. See, that's where most men lose their power. The more you chase, the more you teach her that you're available at any time, that your attention comes cheap. You might think you're proving your care, but in her mind, you're confessing your need. Every message, every call, every effort says, I can't breathe without you. A masculine man never begs to be chosen. He simply chooses himself. And in that quiet step back, he becomes 10 times more magnetic. Because disappearing isn't running away. It's returning back to your own center, your purpose, your life. Here's the truth. Women don't lose respect when you stop chasing. They start noticing your silence, your focus, your absence. It all becomes louder than any words. When you stop showing up every time, when you stop making her the center of your emotional weather, you interrupt the pattern. Suddenly, she starts wondering, why did he stop? Who has his attention now? That curiosity is attraction being reborn. You didn't manipulate her. You reminded her that your time has value, that your energy isn't free. Disappearing is not an act of bitterness. It's an act of balance. It says, I will not be where I am not respected. I will not stay where my energy is being drained. A man who disappears does not vanish to prove a point. He vanishes because he no longer wants to lose himself proving his worth. When you stop chasing, you don't lose her. You lose your weakness. And what returns is your strength, your frame, your control. Remember this. She doesn't fall for your effort. She falls for your energy. And a man who knows when to walk away radiates something no chase can match. Quiet power. 2. Why chasing kills attraction. Let's be brutally honest. Chasing feels like effort, but it's actually panic wearing perfume. When a man chases, he's not saying I care. He's saying I don't believe I'm enough. There's this guy I once coached, Rafi. A good man, loyal, funny, successful. But every time he liked someone, he'd drown her with attention. Calls, compliments, random drop Bs. He thought love meant consistency. What it looked like, though, was desperation. And desperation smells. People can sense it before you even speak. The psychology is simple. We're wired to value what feels scarce. What's always available becomes invisible. When you're always the one reaching out, always initiating, always proving, you teach her one dangerous belief that your attention costs nothing. A woman might appreciate it for a while. She'll take your calls, reply to your texts, smile at your efforts, but deep down, she stops respecting you because she never had to earn it. You handed her the crown before she even proved she could wear it. Masculine men understand this. They don't chase, they attract. They attract by being steady, grounded, and full of purpose. They attract because their energy doesn't beg, it commands. When you chase, you stop being mysterious. You stop being intriguing. You turn your story into a routine. And routine kills desire faster than rejection ever could. Women might not say it, but they crave tension, emotional rhythm. A man who's always there gives no reason to wonder, no reason to miss him. But when he disappears, even for a bit, she feels that void. The absence creates presence. It's not about playing games. It's about restoring balance. Because attraction isn't built in closeness, and it's built in distance. Stop chasing her approval. Start chasing your peace. The moment you stop running toward her, she starts looking for you. 3. Disappearing the reset button. Disappearing is not punishment. It's a reset. It's the point where a man pauses and says, Let's see what happens if I stop trying. And what happens is revealing. If she values you, she steps forward. If she doesn't, she vanishes. And that truth, though painful, is priceless. When you disappear, you're not cutting her off. You're stepping back into alignment. You're allowing space for her to choose because love, respect, effort, they can't be forced. They have to be reciprocated. Think about it. When you're constantly available, you don't give her the space to feel your absence. She gets used to you being there. She gets comfortable. And comfort breeds carelessness. But when you pull back, that comfort turns into curiosity. She begins to notice what her days feel like without your messages, without your check-ins, without your presence. And that silence speaks. It says, I'm not here to beg. I'm here to be valued. Real masculine men don't vanish out of anger. They vanish because their life is full, because they are building something that matters more than constant reassurance. They disappear not to control her, but to control themselves. To remind their hearts that their purpose isn't waiting for someone else to validate them. Disappearing filters truth. It shows you who is genuinely connected and who is only comfortable. And when you see that truth, you don't chase anymore. You thank the silence because it finally told you what words never could. For control over chaos. Masculine control isn't about holding your breath or pretending not to care. It's about having your emotions without letting them have you. When you chase, you move. From principle to impulse. You stop leading and start reacting. And every reaction makes you weaker. A masculine man doesn't chase because he has control. He knows that silence can be a statement. That restraint can be louder than aggression. Control is the foundation of respect from others and from yourself. Think about it. Women test men with energy, not words. They notice how fast you reply, how easily you fold, how quickly you abandon your peace. Every time you break that frame, attraction fades. Control looks like calmness when she pulls away. It looks like patience when she tests your limits. It looks like a man who doesn't need to prove anything to keep her. Chaos is emotional slavery. Control is emotional leadership. When you can stay grounded in uncertainty, she feels it. It tells her, this man doesn't chase because he doesn't have to. And that calm confidence, that's magnetic because real masculinity isn't noise. It's quiet power. 5. Disappearing is alignment, not abandonment. Let's clear one thing. Disappearing isn't running away. It's realignment. When you disappear, you're not saying, I don't care about you. You're saying, I care about me too. Most men confuse pulling back with rejection. They think silence means cruelty. But in truth, it's self-respect. You disappear not because you hate her, but because you refuse to lose yourself loving her. Masculine men disappear when respect fades, when peace is replaced by chaos, when giving becomes one-sided. They don't slam doors. They just walk away quietly with their dignity intact. And that silence, it echoes. Because women can feel the difference between anger and alignment. One pushes them away, the other pulls them closer. Disappearing from alignment means you return to your purpose. You start building again. You start living again. You focus on your mission, your growth, your world. That's when attraction reignites because your absence speaks truth. You are never chasing her. You are chasing yourself. And that is what makes masculine men unforgettable. Chasing is chaos. It means every mood swings you off balance. Masculinity is control over your reactions, not suppression of your feelings. You feel the fear, the want, the itch to message. Notice it, then choose action that preserves your worth. That choice is what steadies you when disappearing fails.
And why?
Sometimes pulling back does nothing. She doesn't call. She doesn't care. That stings, but it's also confirmation. If your absence doesn't change your behavior, she was never invested beyond convenience. Let that go. No one wins by staying where respect is optional. Disappearing is a test, a protection, a reset. Do it not to punish, but to preserve. Do it to find who matches your pace, your values, your mission. A masculine man vanishes because his life is bigger than a reaction. And in that vanishing, he either watches a real partner step in, or he walks on cleaner and freer. You are not the sum of someone's replies. You're the sum of what you build, the calm you carry, and the lines you keep.
Stop chasing. Step back.
See who comes forward.